Did you know that every time you walk past the snack aisle at your grocery store, you're literally walking past some of the most powerful prostate-protecting foods on the planet? While millions of American men over 50 are spending thousands on treatments and supplements, the answer might be hiding in plain sight in your own kitchen pantry. Here's something that'll stop you in your tracks. By the time you hit 50, there's a 50-50 chance your prostate is already starting to cause problems. By 70, that jumps to 8 out of 10 men. But here's the kicker that most doctors won't mention in that rushed 10-minute appointment. What you eat for breakfast tomorrow morning could literally determine which side of those statistics you end up on. Picture this scenario. You wake up tomorrow, shuffle to the kitchen, and instead of reaching for that same boring cereal, you grab a small handful of something that's been sitting in your pantry this whole time. Something so simple that you've probably walked past it 100 times without giving it a second thought. Stay with me because what I am about to reveal could completely change how you think about protecting one of your most important organs. But first, let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why your grandfather's generation seemed to have fewer prostate problems, even though they lived to the same ages we do now? The answer isn't what you think, and it's definitely not because they had better doctors or miracle drugs. It comes down to something much more basic, something that's been quietly disappearing from the American diet over the past 50 years. Your prostate is basically working overtime every single day, and most guys have no idea. This walnut-sized gland is sitting right below your bladder, producing the fluid that keeps everything functioning properly down there. When it's healthy, you don't even know it exists. But when inflammation starts creeping in, and trust me, it's probably already happening if you're over 40, everything changes. Here's where most men get it completely wrong. They think prostate problems are just part of getting older, like gray hair or needing reading glasses. But that's like saying heart disease is just part of aging. Your prostate is under constant attack from inflammation, and the fuel for that inflammation is coming directly from what you're re-putting in your mouth 3 times a day. Now imagine walking into your kitchen tonight and opening that container of nuts you bought months ago but never finished. Those aren't just snacks, they're basically medicine that actually tastes good. But here's the twist that makes this even more interesting. Not all nuts are created equal when it comes to your prostate, and the one that packs the biggest punch isn't even the one most guys would guess. Let me paint you a picture. You're standing in your kitchen tomorrow morning, and instead of grabbing that expensive juice that's probably loaded with sugar anyway, you reach for a small handful of pumpkin seeds. Just 1 ounce, that's about what fits in the palm of your hand, contains more zinc than almost any other food on Earth. And here's something that lines blow your mind. Your prostate contains the highest concentration of zinc in your entire body. Think about that for a second. Your prostate is basically a zinc hoarding machine, and when zinc levels drop, that's when problems start. Studies have shown that men with prostate issues have significantly lower zinc levels than healthy guys. So when you're eating those pumpkin seeds with your morning coffee, you're literally feeding your prostate exactly what it needs to stay healthy. But wait, there's something even more powerful hiding in those little green seeds. They're packed with compounds called phytosterols, particularly something called beta-sitosterol. This stuff is like a bouncer at a nightclub for your prostate cells. It blocks the conversion of testosterone into DHT, which is the hormone that makes prostate cells multiply like crazy when you don't want them to. Here's a real-world example of how powerful this is. Researchers followed a group of men taking beta-sitosterol for 6 months. These weren't young guys. They were dealing with real prostate symptoms that were affecting their daily lives. After 6 months, they had significantly better urinary flow and fewer nighttime bathroom trips. The researchers were so impressed they recommended it as a first-line treatment. Now let's talk about walnuts, because these brain-shaped nuts bring something completely different to the party. Picture yourself having a conversation with your doctor about inflammation. he's probably going to recommend expensive fish oil supplements or prescription medications. But what if I told you that eating walnuts twice a week could be more effective than most of those pills? Walnuts are absolutely loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, specifically the type called alpha-linolenic acid. These are nature's fire extinguishers for inflammation. When you eat walnuts regularly, you're basically giving your body the tools it needs to put out the inflammatory fires before they damage your prostate tissue. Here's a study that'll make you rethink your snack choices. Researchers followed over 40,000 men for more than a decade, tracking everything they ate and their health outcomes. The guys who ate the most omega-3 fatty acids had significantly lower rates of advanced prostate cancer. We're talking about a measurable, statistically significant difference just from eating more of the right nuts. But here's where it gets really interesting. Walnuts contain a specific type of vitamin E called gamma-tocopherol that most supplements don't even include. This particular form of vitamin E seems to have special protective effects specifically for prostate tissue. It's like having a specialized security system that's designed exactly for the threats your prostate faces. Now imagine you're talking to your buddy who's dealing with prostate issues, and he mentions that his doctor recommended flax seeds. You might think, those tiny seeds, how could something so small make any difference? But here's what most people don't realize about flax seeds: they're probably the most underrated prostate-supporting food on the planet. These little seeds contain more lignans than any other food source. Lignans are plant compounds that act like gentle, natural hormone balancers in your body. Before you worrying about anything estrogen-related, understand that these plant compounds actually help balance your hormones by blocking more potent estrogens and reducing DHT production. It's like having a natural regulatory system that keeps everything in balance. The research on flax seeds is honestly mind-blowing. In one clinical trial, men with prostate cancer consumed flax seeds daily before their scheduled surgery. When the surgeons examined the tissue afterward, they found significantly slower tumor growth rates compared to men who didn't eat flax seeds. The doctors were so impressed they started recommending flax seeds as part of treatment protocols. But here's what makes flax seeds even more powerful. They're loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, even more concentrated than walnuts in some cases. Plus, they're packed with fiber, which helps your body eliminate excess hormones that could contribute to prostate problems. It's like having a complete cleanup system working in your favor. So you're probably wondering, which one should you choose? Here's the truth: they work best as a team. Think of it like this: pumpkin seeds are your zinc delivery system and DHT blocker. Walnuts are your inflammation fighters with specialized vitamin E protection. Flax seeds are your hormone balancers and cleanup crew. For maximum benefit, you want about 1 ounce of mixed nuts and seeds daily. That's roughly what fits in your cupped hand. You can sprinkle ground flax seeds on your morning yogurt, grab a handful of walnuts as an afternoon snack, or roast pumpkin seeds with whatever spices you like. Here's the key that most guys miss: consistency beats perfection every single time. Eating a massive portion once in a while won't do much. But adding a small handful to your daily routine and sticking with it for months and years, that's where the real protection happens. Your prostate health is literally an investment in your future quality of life. These aren't just foods, they're your insurance policy against becoming part of those statistics we talked about earlier. The choice you make tomorrow morning when you're standing in your kitchen could determine whether you're dealing with prostate problems in 10 years or still feeling strong and healthy. The power is literally in your hands, or more accurately, in your pantry. The question is, what are you going to choose?